Yep. Inside, I want to kill myself. We are on an 0-7 run over the last 2 days. After tonight was just complete bullshit. So that's how I'm going to start off this show. Horrible Sunday, 1-5. I don't even know what to tell you about that. I just don't want to do this anymore. I have never seen anything like this, man. With the slump continuing, 2 straight losses, not a good day at all. 0-4. I just have not had a good season, man. What kind of slump that I'm on? The slump continues. I've reached a new peak, actually. I'm going to burn my Bruins hat, man. I don't know what is going on with the Bruins. March 8th, is that what it is? I don't even know. It's March 9th, I think. Who even knows, man? I don't know what day it is anymore. I don't even know what day it is anymore, man. Back with you after the worst day that I could possibly have. Back with you, as I always am. Until I die, at least. 0-2 yesterday, and yesterday did not go well for me. 0-5. The worst month that I've ever had in my 18 years doing this. I don't know what to even tell you about this anymore. Broke the slump yesterday as the slump discontinues. The slump continues. Somebody fucking kill me, please. I don't even know what I should do at this point other than potentially end it all. What's up, everybody? It's Toad back with you. Toadstool Sports. We have Major League Baseball opening day is actually Wednesday, March 25th, so I figured I would do a little bit of a preview, even though I honestly don't know how much I'm going to have to say about this. I'm going to talk about the division breakdowns, talk about what the odds are, if I have any thoughts about it. I don't really get involved in the futures markets in really anything, but really I don't do it in baseball. But I don't know. I figured I would just talk about it because it is about to happen. Netflix is carrying the opening day games, which, like the big one, it might be the only game on opening day is Yankees-Giants. I don't know why that's what it is, but I mean, I get why it's the Yankees because they're a huge market. Well, I guess both those teams are huge markets. You'd think it would be like the Dodgers or something, though, but whatever. I'll have thoughts on that game when it happens. Let's get into it. Charles, what's up? Thanks for hanging out. Yeah. Pacers outright win. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy about that. Hopefully we can go on another hot streak here. I don't know. I haven't looked at tomorrow's games at all yet. I usually don't even look until the morning, which maybe should not be the way that I operate, but it is. Let's take a look, man. So I'm looking at notable acquisitions for each team pretty much, basically what happened during the offseason. We got the odds up here. We can start with that. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to show these or, I mean, why not, right? It's a public website. It's, it's DK, whatever. It's available where I'm at. So obviously we can see here, I mean, this is the odds to win the World Series. I mean, no surprise the Dodgers have by far the best odds to win it, which would be a three-peat if they happen to do it, which would be ridiculous. Like we're getting into like Yankees, like 1960s, 70s territory, whatever, whenever they're winning that many games. It's annoying. I'm not a fan of the Dodgers at all. I'd rather have them win than the Yankees, though, but Dodgers are at plus 230 to win the whole thing. I mean, I would say there's got to be no value in that, though. Like, you get the Dodgers as an underdog to win it. It seems pretty tempting to just do it. Everybody thinking they're going to win again. Yankees are the next the next lowest odds, if you want to call it that, at 10-1. Then Mariners 12-1, Mets 13-1, Blue Jays 15-1, my Red Sox 16-1, and so on. Phillies 16-1, Cubs 18-1, Braves 18-1, Tigers 20-1, and so on. The Astros have really plummeted all the way down to 25-1 after the Orioles 22-1. And then we got, Rangers 30-1, Brewers 35-1, Padres 35-1. And then, I'll cut it off there. Sorry, Zach. I'll cut it off with the Royals, although maybe the Royals will be improved. But we want to talk about, who we think is going to win the divisions and stuff like that. But as far as the World Series, I mean, I really don't see that there's any value on the Dodgers there because they keep doing it. Maybe not even on the Yankees because there's such a big market team, you know what I mean? A lot of times in baseball, you have some team come from out of nowhere and do it, man. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where the value might lie here. To be honest, I would say maybe the Mets are being a little bit undervalued here. I'm not sure that I buy into the Mariners necessarily. The Mets, they really kind of underperformed at the end of last season, like in the last half of last season. I'll have to look at who the acquisitions are for these teams, but I could see them maybe doing it. I know who the Red Sox got over the offseason. I like what the Red Sox did over the offseason. Honestly, I think there might be some value there, even though I'm a fan. I have my Red Sox hat on. I'm trying to not be biased here, but I think maybe there would be some value there with the pickups that they got. And then the Tigers, because of the way that they plummeted off towards the end of the season last year and somehow imploded and let Cleveland win that division. I don't know how that happened, but Tigers could be some value there at 20-1. I mean, they still have Screwball, right? So, I mean, they have one of the best pitchers in baseball still there, although that's not everything. I mean, I don't think the Pirates are going to do particularly well. The Cubs, well, yeah, the Cubs, I mean, we'll talk about, like, I'm going to try to go through every division and kind of just look at who, like who got added and who got lost, like from each team, basically. We could start with the American League East here, which does happen to be where the Red Sox are, but it's just first up alphabetically. Yankees are at plus 180 to win the AL East. Blue Jays plus 250. Red Sox plus 320. Orioles plus 425. And the Rays way down at plus 2,500, which that kind of surprises me a little bit. I know people were kind of high on the Orioles last year, and they really kind of dropped off. We got to see like who the acquisitions were, though, right? So for the Yankees, the big one, I mean, really it was just they re-signed a lot of guys. Like for as far as the Yankees, it's going to be like a lot of it is the Yankees are kind of staying the same, to be honest. I guess the big deal that they made really was they made a trade to get Ryan Weathers, who I actually think he's pretty good, but we'll see how he does in a very hitter-friendly ballpark because he's coming from the Marlins, where it's a lot easier to pitch in that stadium than it is at Yankee Stadium and in the AL East. So we'll see. I mean, he's a guy that has definitely come on in his career, though. So I don't know. It's not a horrible pickup, but the Yankees didn't do a whole lot over the offseason. As far as the Blue Jays, they lost Bo Bichette to the Mets, so that's kind of an interesting one. I think he was a free agent, right? They lost Kiner Falefa to the Red Sox, although he was a late season ad for the Blue Jays last year, coming over from the Pirates. They lost Chris Bassett, so one of their starters, who I thought he kind of overperformed, though. He stayed in the division and went to the Orioles. And then somewhat interesting was their biggest acquisition, I would say, is Dylan Cease, 7-year deal. But I don't like that move, to be honest, for an AL East team getting Dylan Cease. I mean, yeah, he's like a strikeout pitcher. His numbers were not even good last year, and he was pitching in one of the best parks in baseball for pitchers in San Diego, and now you expect him to do that well in Toronto. I don't see it, man. I really don't. And then, yeah, I don't even know who Okamoto is. I apologize. I mostly know pitchers because I'm trying to break down, like, starting pitching matchups most of the time, and I take, like, the lineups to basically be this team's lineup is good, this team's lineup is not good, and I don't even really look, so I apologize for all that. And, yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really see, like, Cease was really the big one there. For the Red Sox, they did get two starting pitchers. Sonny Gray, who's a veteran who's been good throughout his career, was with the Cardinals. He's in his late 30s now, though, so we'll see what he could do. Although, I mean, he's been solid throughout his career, but I worry about him pitching in Fenway, to be honest. I liked the acquisition of Ronier Suarez, from the Phillies, even though I thought he was kind of a mirage 2 years ago, but he kind of proved me wrong, man. I actually like that. I like that deal for the Red Sox. They also picked up Oviedo from the Pirates, who will be like last man in the rotation, probably coming out of the bullpen, actually. So we'll see what happens with him. He's like a big dude who throws hard. Still pretty young, I think, so we'll see what happens there. And they did get Durbin to shore up the infield there. And Wilson Contreras, actually. I don't even know where Contreras is going to play, but Red Sox offense looks like it's going to be good, to be honest, man. I mean, it was fairly good last year, but then they had all these injuries. But it looks like, I mean, at least to start the season, other than Casas, who was never healthy, and they should just get rid of him. Other than that, it looks like they're going to have a pretty strong lineup, to be honest. And they all did pretty well in the World Baseball Classic, although that can't really take away that much from that. But we'll see, man. We'll see how the Red Sox fare, but I actually think they improved quite a bit there. They did lose Bregman, and Dick Fitz, our favorite guy, man. They trade a lot of guys away, but most of these guys are just kind of, a lot of these guys are guys they got in trades, and then you have like the password. I'm kind of mad they got rid of him, to be honest. Yostinchen Garcia, however you pronounce his name, but he's unproven. They just have way too many outfielders, so they traded him away. I don't know, man. Red Sox, we'll see what they could do, but I actually think the Red Sox are probably the best value play in the AL East. I'm trying to not be biased about it, but they clearly had a better offseason than these other teams, so I don't think I'm being biased by saying that, the value play in this division may actually be the Red Sox, even though I kind of think the Yankees are still going to win it. I think the Red Sox are going to make the playoffs, though. Playoffs? What? I like what they did over the offseason, but they need to improve their fielding, and hopefully Durbin will do that, and then they're getting some of their other guys back, but their fielding has been an issue, so we'll see if that can be fixed. As far as the Orioles are concerned, they got Chris Bassett, like I said. They got Pete Alonso was their biggest acquisition there. He was one of the hot commodities on the free agent market. Was on the Mets last year, I believe, so they got him. They got Boz from the Rays. They got a lot of pitchers that used to be on other teams in the division. But yeah, Alonso will make their offense better, but I don't know. The Orioles, I don't know what to think about what the Orioles did. And then I don't know why the Rays are like that far down in odds, really. I don't know, man. I mean, it looks like they lost both Lows, Brandon and Josh Lowe. I don't know. They didn't make too many huge deals here. They got Motts, who was on the Red Sox at the end of the year last year. They traded for him. He was a good relief pitcher, but I thought it was a stupid trade for the Red Sox just to get a relief pitcher for as a rental at the end of the season. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. They got Nick Martinez, who was in the Reds starting rotation last year, had some weird finger issues at the end of the year, so I don't know. Again, Red Sox would probably be my value play in that division. Will, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. Rough day. Well, hopefully this makes it better. I don't know. I'm not going to really call it a Tower Gang reunion. I would like to get the show back. I don't think it's going to happen. Cole also really doesn't want to do it, man. He doesn't want it to interfere with his new job and whatever. So I don't know, man. Thanks for hanging out, man. Hopefully this makes your day better, whatever the hell's going on there. But I'm just sitting here ranting about baseball right now because baseball's about to start. The AL Central, I'm going to be honest, man. If the Tigers don't win this division, there's something seriously wrong here. They're only at plus 110 to do it, which seems like value to me. Nate will be happy to know that the Royals are plus 225. Wait, is it Nate? No, it's Zach, right? Why do I get everybody confused? Zach is our Royals fan, right? They're at plus 225. Cleveland plus 425. I don't buy Cleveland at all. I mean, I didn't buy them last year, and they somehow made the playoffs with that ridiculous run at the end of the year. Not buying them at all. The Twins are down at plus 900. They traded some guys away at the trade deadline last year. Not high on the Twins either. And then the White Sox, a long shot at plus 3,500. I mean, nobody's going to want anything to do with the White Sox because they've been historically bad over the last couple of seasons, but I mean, they could improve a little bit. I mean, there's a chance they don't wind up in last place. But really, I think this is the Tigers' division to lose, man. I mean, let's be honest about it. I mean, maybe the Royals could do something. They picked up Alex Cobb, man, in the trade deadline. The Tigers did. For the most part, Oh, they picked up Framber Valdez. Oh, yeah, and that's right. They got Justin Verlander. I think probably just so he could retire as a Tiger, back to where he started. I don't see Verlander really doing a whole lot here, man. I mean, it's crazy that he's still pitching, to be honest. They did pick up Jansen as well, strong relief pitcher, who I believe was on the Red Sox a couple years ago as their closer. So some kind of interesting moves for the Tigers there. Framber Valdez, I'm not a fan. Really, I'm not a fan, man. I mean, when he's right, he pitches all right, but like he's a major head case. So I don't know about that. And then, yeah, they picked up Alex Cobb, which I forgot he was even in baseball until he made an appearance last year. So I don't know. The Tigers, there's not going to be that much of a change with the Tigers. I think maybe their bullpen's a little bit better than it was. But I still think they're pretty clearly the best team in this division. For the Royals, what did they do? I'm trying to figure all this out here. They got Starling Marte, so I guess that was, I don't even know if that was that big of a deal, to be honest. A 1-year deal there. He's not Kettle Marte Ketel Marte, however you pronounce that guy's name. Although that dude seems like kind of a crybaby. Starling Marte, I remember when he came into the league long ago. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing these acquisitions being huge, to be honest, for the Royals. But their pitching was good last year. Their offense was really bad. And they did make some trades for some position players here. Don't know if that's going to make their offense better or not. Because, again, I apologize, but I know the pitcher is better than the hitters here. I know Matt Strahm is that long-haired dude from the Phillies. I don't know how much that's going to help them. I mean, he'll be coming out of their bullpen. But, according to the odds, the Royals are number 2 in this division here. And then looks like they lost Lorenzen, so he was one of the guys towards the back end of the rotation. I mean, wasn't totally healthy, though. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal they lost him. For Cleveland, it looks like they really didn't do a whole lot at all of the offseason. I mean, I honestly think Cleveland is going to suck. I guess, they got Hoskins as a minor league deal. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not seeing a whole lot going on there. Cleveland made basically no moves over the offseason, it looks like. And then for the White Sox, they're the ones who got Hicks from the Red Sox. I mean, I don't know how much he's going to help them, really. They got Austin Hayes, signed him to a 1-year deal. Kind of interesting, I guess. They got Eric Fedde, who's been around. I mean, you know me. I liked to fade him in a lot of situations when he was on the Cardinals. So I don't know. Then they got Dominguez, who's a pretty decent relief pitcher, if I remember correctly. I have no idea who Murakami is, man. This infielder here. But White Sox, I mean, they're probably still going to be bad. I don't know how bad, but again, I would not bet any futures in this division. I would, unless you're betting the Tigers. I just don't see how they lose this division, to be honest. Hindian, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. All right. And, yeah, I apologize for being a dick in the Twitter threads. I think I'm being kind of a dick to Hindian and whatever, with all the sports tweeting. I'm like, no, because I don't know. I just disagree vehemently with a lot of people, so I don't know. A Castellanos home run bet after a bad event happens. Was Castellanos one of the guys who was did he join the Italy team along with everybody? Is he even Italian? I don't even know, man. He sounds Italian to me. I don't know. If he was one of those Italian guys, I just spilled my water. Gonna have to get rice. It's all over my phone, man. No. That's great. Anyway, yeah, my phone should be fine. It's waterproof-ish, water resistant. I don't know, but I was talking about the Italy World Baseball Classic team there. I don't know. Lucky if you interact with me? No. I'm trying to not be fake. I'll tell you that. I mean, I'm just being me, man. I mean, you shouldn't have to try to not be fake. You know what I mean? It takes effort to be fake, which is I don't know. It probably gets kind of ingrained in a lot of these politicians, though. AL West, we have the Mariners at plus 100, Astros plus 250, Rangers plus 340, A's plus 1300, Anaheim plus 4,000. The A's, the homeless A's still, by the way, still playing in that Sacramento stadium, it's just god-awful, man. They got to just move to Vegas already, which I know they're doing, but I don't know why it's taken 3 years for that to happen. Yes, my LP Alaska video, yes. Oh, thank you. So the Mariners, I mean, we know they were good last year. They have a really good pitching rotation. Especially at home where they're in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. They still have the big dumper on their team. So, the Mariners are the Mariners. Looks like it's a very similar team to last year, very similar construction. They have a couple of old Red Sox players on their team now with Ref Snyder and Criswell. I don't know, Ref Snyder, not a fan of his fielding, I'll tell you that. They made a trade for Brendan Donovan. I guess that was the big trade that they made, and they picked up Luke Jackson, relief pitcher, off the free agent market. Donovan was the infielder they got from, I believe he was on the Cardinals. Kind of an interesting move, I guess, to get him. Mariners, I mean, they should be pretty similar to last year, though. They lost Suarez, though, of course, who was one of their power hitters, but he strikes out all the time. I mean, I don't see that being that big of a loss for them, to be honest. He's going to the Reds where he's going to be able to just smash the ball into the stands because it's a hitter-friendly park. So Suarez is probably going to hit a lot of home runs this year. They did lose, Jorge Polanco, I guess, too, to the Mets. So, but yeah, Mariners, I mean, pretty similar team to last year. Astros, I don't even know what the Astros did over the offseason, man. They got young starting pitcher Mike Burrows from the Pirates. I recognize the name, somewhat interesting. They got old Christian Vasquez, who was the Red Sox backup catcher for a while. Looks like one of their bigger deals that they made was getting Imai, starting pitcher. I have no idea who that is. So I don't know. There are a lot of these guys coming over from Japan. Some of these guys might have not been in Major League, like they might have not been in Major League Baseball before, So I don't know. I really don't know who these guys are. They lost Valdez, which again, you know me, I'm not that high in Valdez. So, yeah, I don't know. They lost Kimbrel, who really cares, right? I'm surprised he came back, man. And he was actually their closer for a little while last year, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Astros, to me, they seem like they're always like kind of a threat in this division regardless, even though I know their odds to win the World Series are really low. Could they win this division? Yeah, I think they could. I mean, I don't really see much value in the Mariners, to be honest, at plus 100. The influx of the Asian players, it's a mix of real talent, and I wouldn't say it's a fad. I mean, there are some guys that are definitely really talented coming over from there. Like, I mean, you can't deny, like Ohtani and stuff like that, especially his, hitting ability and his gambling ability, But then there are other situations where I would say, like, some guys come over and, like, pitchers that come over, like, sometimes they're good, like, in the first year or two, and then the hitters figure them out, and then they're not good anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that seemed to kind of be a phenomenon that happened with, like, Daisuke Matsuzaka and, guys like that. Maybe I might say it happened to kind of, like, Yu Darvish and stuff like that, although he's still around today, so I don't know. But I think there is kind of a phenomenon that happens like that. Like, that kind of happens with any pitcher that's new to Major League Baseball, where the hitters have no idea who he is. They struggle against him at first, and then they figure out how to hit him. So there is that aspect to it as well. But yeah, it's a mix. For the Rangers, the Rangers, they had some really good pitching last year, man. Don't know why they wanted Patrick Corbin. I was a Patrick Corbin naysayer. I think he was a free agent, and they signed him back, I think. Although I don't know why it doesn't say that was a re-sign, because I'm pretty sure he was on the Rangers last year, right? He was the guy that I was just like, fade this guy whenever he was on Arizona, but he actually pitched well with the Rangers last year. Rangers, for some reason, they're pitching, like, their park is pitcher friendly. I don't know why, but They also got John Gray, who I don't even know where was. He on the Rangers last year? I don't even remember. I remember him being on the Rangers in the past. I think he was an okay pitcher. I haven't heard that name for a while. They got Mackenzie Gore from the Nationals. Maybe they could try to turn that guy around. I mean, he is a hard thrower. He has like strikeout ability. I don't know how good he really is though. They got Nimmo from the Mets in the outfield. Lot of deals here for the Rangers here, man. Danny Jansen, who was on the Red Sox for a little while at one point, and I believe he was on the Blue Jays, I want to say. They signed him as a catcher. They brought Chris Martin back, man, from the lead singer from Coldplay. No, Chris Martin, the pitcher. They got Beeks, my man. If you watch my show, I talk about Jalen Beeks. I was at his major league debut for the Red Sox with one of my friends who was up visiting from Houston, and we went to the game. I'm like, let's go to a Red Sox game. Oh, Jalen Beeks making his major league debut. All right, cool. He was awful in the game. Wasn't on the Red Sox for too long, and I believe it was the next night because we were hanging out and getting a bunch of drinks like the nights that he was here because we're both like huge beer guys, or I was. Now I'm like a non-alcoholic beer guy, but we're like, we got to hit up all these breweries, local breweries, right? But the night after the game, we did go to karaoke and met up with a couple other people that I know, and Beeks' parents were in town for his major league debut. They were at that bar doing karaoke. He wasn't there, but like some people have heard me tell this story before. Beeks' parents are like karaoke aficionados. They're actually pretty good. They're pretty good at it. So yeah, we actually hung out with them. I don't know. We talked to them. They told us that they were Beeks' parents. I'm like, holy shit, we saw it. Like we went to his game yesterday, man. So that was interesting. But yeah, a lot of acquisitions for the Rangers here. They got Andrew McCutchen, who is apparently still in baseball, but they signed him to a minor league deal, excuse me. But I don't know. I kind of went through all the big moves that they made already. And Jakob Eunice from the Marlins, I believe is where he was. I don't know. And Jordan Montgomery, I don't know too much about him, to be honest, as a starting pitcher there. But, the Rangers, whenever you have good pitching, and the Rangers do, you could do something here. They did lose a lot of guys, too, though. They lost Garcia, who's one of their better hitters, of course, to the Phillies. So that is a big loss from their offense. Their offense still stunk last year, though. They lost Merrill Kelly, who was actually a decent pitcher for them, too. He went back to Arizona, I guess, which is where he was before he was on I think that's where he was before he was on Texas. Interesting. And they lost Molly, who actually had a really good season last year out of the rotation. So, yeah, it's really hard to figure out what the Rangers might do here, man. To me, it looks like they're still going to be pretty good at pitching and not that good at hitting. We'll see. As far as what the A's did, I have no idea. Not a whole lot going on here. They picked up Savale, who's kind of a journeyman starter there. I mean, he had some decent, performances last year. Not a huge deal, though. And they got Mark Leiter Jr., man. So another, I think, loss for the where is he at? He was on the Rangers, too, wasn't he? Or I'm thinking of Jack Leiter. Mark Leiter was on the Yankees then? I don't know. Because Jack Leiter, I think, is Al Leiter's son. Mark Leiter Jr. obviously is Mark Leiter's son. Oh, yeah, I'm going out on a limb with that one. But, yeah, he's a relief pitcher. I think he was on the Yankees. So, I don't know. I don't see this being a huge change for the A's. I think they'll still – the A's have a lot of good young talent, though, in their offense, man. So, the A's, they're not horrible. And then we had let me see here. The Angels is the other team, yeah. Angels were pretty terrible at pitching last year. They re-signed Tyler Anderson. Why? He's so bad, dude. Why would they re-sign him in their starting rotation? I don't get it. They got Grayson Rodriguez from the Orioles. I think he's still kind of a young starter there. We'll see if he can do anything. They got Josh Lowe from the Rays. Outfielder. I think he's a decent hitter. They got Drew Pomeranz, who actually had, I think, a decent year with the Cubs last year. He was in the starting rotation for a little bit too. I don't know. I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot here as far as these pickups for. Maybe it's just because I'm not as familiar with the hitters and the relief pitchers, man. They did get Moncada, but that was a re-sign for the Angels there. I don't know. I don't really see the Angels doing a whole lot here. I mean, I don't know, man. I think if there's going to be any value here, it could be the Astros, to be honest. I mean, they're just always kind of good, always kind of a threat in this division at 2.5 to 1 here. I think they're probably being downgraded a little bit because they actually missed the playoffs last year. And we have a team that's like a perennial playoff team, and they don't make the playoffs one year. That might be a team that you might get some value on in the next year. Maybe the Rangers. I don't know. We'll see you there. Yes, yes, sir. You do karaoke as well? Hell yeah. It's a fun time, man. All right, and then, I don't know. As far as the American League, the odds to win the AL, obviously the Yankees have the best at plus 450, Mariners plus 500, Jays plus 650, Red Sox plus 700, Detroit plus 900, Orioles plus 950, Astros 10 to 1, Rangers 13 to 1, and then so on. Again, I think the value probably lies with the Red Sox and the Tigers, to be honest, man. In this in the AL, that would be my opinion there. All right, let's go to the NL here. As far as the NL divisions, we got the NL East. The Mets are plus 140 to win it. The Phillies plus 175. Does seem like kind of a two-horse race between those two teams, kind of like it was last year. Although the Mets really fell off and they had to get a wild card last year. I think they got into the playoffs, right? But they were in the mix for the division and completely fell off. The Phillies won the division last year. The Braves at plus 250. Marlins way down at plus 4,000. And then the Nats are at plus 10,000 just to win the division. The Nats, they might be the worst team in baseball this year, man. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I'm not shedding a tear for, a DC team being that bad. But, man, yeah, they might be the worst team out there. Like, they could be worse than the Rockies and the White Sox. Who knows? I mean, that seems like a three-horse race there for the worst team in baseball. Maybe the Rockies and White Sox might be a little bit better because everybody just sees them as these complete bottom dwellers over the last couple of years. This division is going to be won by the Mets or the Phillies, man. The Braves, something is going on with the Braves, man, where how the 49ers stadium, Levi Stadium, whatever, is next to that like electrical substation, and it seems like for whatever reason, that's causing all these injuries on the team. The Braves better check to see if they have an electrical substation next to their like stadium or something, or next to where they practice or something, because something is going on with this Braves team. Like, their entire starting rotation is injured again. I don't know what's going on with this Braves team, dude. Braves, as far as what they did over the offseason, I don't even know what to think about this. They got, a lot of their players are going to remain the same. They got Martin Perez, I'm surprised he's still pitching, to be honest, at his age. But, I mean, he's kind of a junk pitcher who just kind of, the way that he pitches, he can pitch as an old man, So we'll see what he could do there. Not a whole lot going on there. They signed Mike Yastrzemski to a 2-year deal. I don't know why. I don't see a whole lot going on with what the Braves did here. I just don't see it. I don't see it for the Braves, man. And again, I think, these guys they have in their starting pitching rotation with, Chris Sale and all these other young guys that all got hurt last year, they're, all hurt again, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know what's going to happen with this, because the Braves have, this really talented young pitching rotation with, Schwellenbach and a couple of those other guys there, Strider, all the S's, Smith, Shawver, I forget who else they have there, but it seems like every single one of them is injured, so I have no idea. Well, thank you, sir. Have a good night, Will. All right. As far as the two best teams in this division, the Mets, they They signed Winker, although he was already on the Mets, wasn't he? They got Montas from, I think he was on the Reds last year. I'm not a Montas fan, really. I don't know. We'll see what he could do there. Kranick, I don't even know who that is, a relief pitcher. Their biggest deals, they had a couple of really big acquisitions here with Bo Bichette, because, of course, they're going to need some offense with the loss of Pete Alonso, you know what I mean? And they lost Edwin Diaz, relief pitcher, over to the Dodgers. So those were like their biggest losses. And then Nimmo, like I said, over to the Rangers. But yeah, Bichette, big acquisition for them. They got Freddie Peralta from the Brewers for their starting rotation. They got Devin Williams for some reason, who was the Yankees' failed closer last year. And Luke Weaver, too. So why would they do that, dude? Why would the Mets get like the Yankees relievers who were so bad last year? Yeah, let's just get both of them. I don't know what they're doing. But they got Freddie Peralta. You know I like Freddie Peralta, man. Good pitcher. He was the ace for the Brewers last year. He's really solid. They got Luis Robert from the White Sox. Interesting acquisition there, too. Semien from the Rangers. It's going to be a very different look Mets team, really. Polanco here. Jorge Polanco, I should say. They got Tobias Myers from the Brewers. He's an interesting young pitcher. Could do something. They signed Kimbrel for some reason to maybe make the team and be a relief pitcher. I don't know. Some interesting moves for the Mets, though. I think the Mets are going to be good. And they underperformed last year for sure, man. And they're the ones who lost Starling Marte and some of these other guys, too. I don't know, man. They lost Griffin Canning. Oh, no. A huge loss there. Then we have... who else was I looking at here? Oh, Phillies. Yeah. Whoops, I just saw the Phillies. Phillies got Max Kepler in the outfield. The big acquisition there was they re-signed Schwarber, who looked like he might wind up going somewhere else. I was hoping he'd go back to the Red Sox, but they re-signed him. So we're going to see a similar Phillies team. They did add Garcia, Adolis Garcia, however you pronounce his name, from the Rangers. Interesting acquisition there for them. It's going to be a similar Phillies team. Their offense is going to be really good. They did lose Roger Suarez, of course, though. And like you guys mentioned, they lost Castellanos. They actually lost Bader as well. So their outfield lost a couple of components to it. So, maybe their offense will actually take a little bit of a hit here. They lost Walker Buehler. Oh, no, terrible. Such a huge loss there. Dude just hasn't been good since his Tommy John surgery, man. Dirty Sock, what's up? Thanks for hanging out. I like the Mets to win this division, to be honest. I'm just not sure that the Phillies pitching can really match up with it, but I know the odds are close. I think I would probably lean Mets as far as there being any value here to win the division, because it's going to be those two teams battling. And the Mets really, really underperformed at the end of the year last year, so I kind of expect a little bit better out of them here. I'm not sold on this pitching, especially, Suarez, a big loss, I think, in the rotation for the Phillies. I'm not sold on their pitching rotation really there. Sanchez did really well last year, so we'll see. But, it seemed like Nola didn't really bounce back from his injury very well. And then they did have, who's their other pitcher they had there who was good? I can't even remember, man. My mind is just like lost. I know it's the best pitcher they have, and I can't even think of who it is. The Rockies, yeah, good luck with that. I haven't talked about the NL West yet. I think that they're going to be last. Hold on a minute. It's going to bug me now. Phillies, who am I thinking of here? Let me see. I'm going to look at their depth chart real quick here. Who was I thinking of? Who did I miss? Oh, no, Sanchez, I guess, is their best pitcher right now. Wheeler. Yeah, Wheeler is who I was trying to think of. Yeah, they still have Wheeler. So, yeah, decent, top of the rotation for them there. And then they have Luzardo. I'm not really sold on him. I think he kind of lost his stuff during the middle of the season. And then we have, the teams that are probably really going nowhere, even though I don't see the Braves doing a whole lot here. But then we have the bottom dwellers in this division with the Marlins. What did they do over the offseason besides lose Ryan Weathers? They got Chris Paddock from the Twins. Really, really huge acquisition there. They got Cassie, is that how you pronounce his name? Casey from the Cubs. I'm not really sure who he is, to be honest. They got Morel in a free agent signing there. I don't really know who these guys are, to be honest. They lost Edward Cabrera, who I think is a good, still somewhat young pitcher there to the Cubs, so he's gone. Like I said, they lost Weathers to the Yankees. He's got some decent stuff as well. So, some hits to their starting rotation there. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Marlins. I don't see the Marlins doing much of anything, but the Nationals appear to be the bottom dweller in all of baseball pretty much here. Oops, I just missed. Let me see. Nationals, what did they do? They picked up Zach Littell. That's really going to help them. Journeyman starting pitcher there, who I think was on the Rays at the end of the year last year. He was okay last year, but, I don't see that being a huge ad. And then they got Miles Mikolas. Yeah, that's really great. Another older kind of junk pitcher from the Cardinals. Not a fan of those moves, I'm going to be honest. I don't think that really does a whole lot for them. They lost Mackenzie Gore, who really has good stuff, but he's been struggling. Then they lost Josh Bell, who I believe was one of their better hitters, so he's gone to the Twins. And they lost DeJong to the Yankees. I don't know how big that is really, but yeah, Nationals are not going to be good, man. They really are not. So they might be, like I said, they could be I think they could be worse than the Rockies and the White Sox. I don't know. The Rockies, when we talk about them, as far as winning the division, their odds are terrible. That's because they're in the division with the Dodgers, though. That's why their odds are so bad to win the division. The NL Central we got to talk about next. Cubs at plus 110, Brewers at plus 235. Brewers won the division last year. Cubs got in as a wild card, but Brewers, that loss of Freddie Peralta is big. We'll talk about the Brewers in a second, but not seeing it for them. The Reds at plus 550, and then shockingly, the Pirates at plus 600. I don't know about that, man. Cardinals plus 2,800, so the Cardinals not looking good for them, and I'm not going to disagree with that, but the Pirates being plus 600 seems ridiculous to me. I don't see them coming close to winning this division. I know they have Paul Skeens, but who else did they add? I don't know, man. Hold on. To me, it looks like this is probably the Cubs division to lose here. They got Alex Bregman, unfortunately. Did not re-sign with the Red Sox, so big ad for them there. They got Edward Cabrera, who, like I said, I think he's good. He's a hard thrower. He looked pretty good at times last year. So they added him. I think he might have been trying to bounce back from Tommy John surgery, though. I think that was him, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I'm getting my Marlins pitchers mixed up now. I think I was thinking of Alcantara, actually, really, who's never really been the same. Cabrera's actually fairly good. They kept Imanaga, so this starting rotation, I think, is going to be pretty good. Picked up a bunch of relief pitchers, including Shelby Miller, who I think was pretty good last year. I don't know all these guys really that well, but the Cubs look like they're fairly stacked. They got Justin Turner as a free agent. Was he on the Cubs already last year? I feel like he was, but yeah, I think he was. So the Cubs, I think, have improved, actually. They did lose Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers. That was their big loss over the offseason. Other than that, I don't really see any huge losses. I talked about Pomerantz, who was okay last year, who was in their rotation for a little while. They lost Savale, who I mentioned. They lost Carlos Santana. I'm shocked he's still in the league. He plays a mean guitar, though, man. Carlos Santana, I don't know. He's so old at this point. I'm surprised he's still playing. Don't see a whole lot else here. But, yeah, the Cubs, they're going to be good. Honestly, I think they should win this division. As far as the Brewers are concerned, Brewers, they were able to re-sign Woodruff, so he was a guy who came back late last year. He's good. He was good throughout his career. He got hurt made the comeback last year. Was pretty good again, but he needs to stay healthy. That's the thing. They got Jet Williams, shortstop from the Mets. Don't know how good he is. Dude, I honestly don't know who he is. They got David Hamilton from the Red Sox, who's just kind of a utility infielder, not a big deal there. Kyle Harrison, also from the Red Sox, who the Red Sox got last year in the Devers trade, and they never really used Harrison. I mean, I think he's okay as a prospect. I mean, he could wind up doing something. Who really knows? They got Zerpa, who was in the Royals bullpen last year, who was decent. And they did get Sprout from the Mets, who was a young guy who joined the Mets starting rotation last year. Kind of an interesting ad there, but the big loss was Freddie Peralta. He was their ace. I mean, it's hard to replace a guy like that in the starting rotation. They lost Hoskins, like I said, to Cleveland, of all teams. Lost Quintana, who actually, he pitched fairly well for them, man. Even though he's kind of a junk pitcher, he had that crazy run of wins last year, so I don't know. They lost him. They lost Tobias Myers, young guy who was in their starting rotation. They lost a lot of guys, man. They're going to be relying heavily on, what was that young guy who throws like 100 miles an hour, that guy that they have? They're going to be relying a lot on that guy this year. Don't know that it's going to be enough, man. And they lost Caleb Durbin to the Red Sox, which I thought was a good ad for the Red Sox as a decent fielder, an okay contact hitter. Lost Jansen, like I said, the catcher. I forgot he was on the Brewers, though. Lost him to the Rangers. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, to me, it seems like this is the Cubs' division to lose here. Maria, what? I don't even know what that is. You mean West Side Story? No, no, that's how do you solve a problem like Maria? I don't know what the fuck Maria is. No. Jet Williams, he probably is fast, I would guess. I don't know. You should just name your kid Jet so that you know he's going to be fast, or at least, have fast fists like Jet Li. All right. Who was next in this division? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, the Reds. I assume they still have my man, Terry Francona, there. For the Reds, they added Wade Miley. Why? He's still in baseball? Are you kidding me? Okay, good luck. Dude, he was on the Red Sox briefly years ago. He's old now. He's a junk pitcher. I don't see him doing well in a hitter-friendly park. So, yeah, good luck with that. They did pick up Suarez, like I said, from the Mariners. I didn't want the Red Sox to get him because he's more of a DH, but he'll jack some home runs in the stadium. I don't know how else, I don't know what else he's really going to do. He strikes out constantly. They got Blade in the outfield there. They signed him. They signed, Nathaniel Lowe to a minor league deal. He was on the Red Sox briefly. Looks like they lost Lux, who was one of their infielders. They're the ones who lost Hayes to the White Sox. They lost Zach Littell. Oh, yeah, that's right. Littell. I thought he was on the Rays. He was at some point, but yeah, that's right. He was on the Reds. I think maybe there was a trade there. I forget. And I mentioned it. They lost Nick Martinez. They lost a couple of their starters, but they do have some really good young starters in the rotation anyway, though, with Hunter Green, if he could stop vomiting on the mound and stay healthy. And then, I don't know. I forget who else. Who do they have in the rotation? I forget. They have a couple other guys that are all right. The Reds, interesting team, I will say. Maybe an interesting team to maybe get into the playoffs again, but don't see them winning the division. The Pirates, I just don't get the hype, man. Obviously they have Paul Skeens, but they had him last year too. They added Tommy Pham. Okay. I don't even remember. Where was he at? I don't even remember. I forget where he was. They added Brandon Lowe in that trade that I mentioned. They got him from the Rays, I think. Okay. They got Ryan O'Hearn, first base / outfielder. Ozuna from, I believe he was on the Braves, right? He is a power hitter. That's kind of interesting. Starting pitcher Urquidy, however you pronounce it, Urquidy. I don't know. I don't really know much about the rest of these guys. I know the password there. They did get him from the Red Sox. He's interesting, but I just don't see it, man. I don't really see the hype here. Pirates, I don't see them being that much improved from last year. They did lose McCutchen. Like I said, they lost Oviedo to the Red Sox. Kind of an interesting starting pitcher there. Burrows, who was in the rotation, as kind of an interesting young guy too. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see the Pirates. Yeah, plus 600. I don't see it at all. I think they should be like 10-1 to win this division. I don't get it. Yeah, that's why Green does it. It's to throw everybody off, puking on the mound. Santana, yeah, I guess I don't know Santana well enough. I only know his hits. I think I do know that song, actually. I think I do know it. Yeah, I guess. The Braves, they're probably going to suck, to be honest. And they got, the Braves, dude, already, what's his face? Who was the guy they got from the Padres before last year? Like, one of the best hitters in baseball. He's suspended again for performance-enhancing drugs. I forget his name. And Acuna is probably hurt again because he's always hurt. Hold on. I'm going to look real quick. Braves. Let me see. Looking at their depth chart right now. Well, he's probably not even on the depth chart because he's suspended, right? Oh, my God. What was his name? Hold on. Dude, why can't I remember anybody's names now? Profar, yeah. He's out for the whole season. So yeah, they don't have him either. And Acuna's just going to get hurt again. Zach, what's up, man? I did talk about the Royals already. They have the second best odds to win their division, although I think that I still think Detroit is going to win that division, though. Profar, yeah. Yeah, him. Yeah, he's out for the whole year, suspended for the whole year. But anyway, who are we just talking about here? Oh, yeah, the Pirates. I'm not buying it. And then the Cardinals look like they're going to be ass, which, I could definitely see that being the case, like I said already. They weren't very good last year. Oh, they added Dustin May. That's really going to help them. He hasn't been good. I think he had Tommy John surgery. He hasn't been good since then either. He was awful with the Dodgers last year. He was awful with the Red Sox. I don't know why you would want him. They also got Dick Fitz and Hunter Dobbins, all these Red Sox pitchers there. Fitz, he had some fits of, being good, I guess. I don't know if he's really going to be that good. Dobbins, I liked his hatred for the Yankees, but, is he really that good? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not seeing the Cardinals doing a whole lot here, man. They got Ramon Urias and Brandon Clark also from the Red Sox. I don't even know who that is, and he was on the Red Sox, so that's great. They lost Wilson Contreras and Sonny Gray to the Red Sox, so a blow to their lineup with Contreras gone, a blow to their rotation with Gray gone. They lost Brendan Donovan as well. Another blow to their lineup there. They lost Arenado to the D-backs. Another blow. So, they're basically they're rebuilding, man. The Cardinals, they're in rebuild mode right now. It's not going to be good for them right now. They're going to have to, I guess they're relying on some young guys they're going to bring up. Mikolas, not really a bad subtraction there, though. I don't think he's good at all. And he's going to the awful Nationals. Yeah, Richard Fitz. Yeah, the Red Sox have Crochet. They have him signed to a long-term deal. They have him for a long time. Of course, they could still decide to trade him, but yeah. Yeah, the Red Sox, the rotation looks pretty strong. It's Crochet, Gray, Suarez. Who else do they even have now? They still have Brian Bayo, will probably be at the end of the rotation. I feel like they added somebody else too. They got Oviedo there. I don't know if he's going to be in the rotation or not. I don't think Bayo is that good though, but he does get a lot of ground balls. He just seems to do better than what his underlying metrics would suggest, and I don't know how. And then they have those, the two young guys there, Tolley and Early for the Red Sox there. So those guys could do something. It seems like they're going to have Tolley in the bullpen, though, so I don't know. And then Early looked good last year when he was starting, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, they just got Crochet before last season, so yeah, in a trade with the White Sox. The Red Sox traded away their best catching prospect in that trade, who I assume is on the White Sox right now. What was his name? I forget his name. He was one of the big names in the Red Sox minor league organization. All right, and then we have the NL West to finish this off. The Dodgers are minus 650 to win the division. I mean, how ridiculous is that? It's insane. I mean, there's no value in that. You can't lay a price like that. But would you really want to take a long shot on anybody else to win it? Probably not. The Padres at plus 900, Giants plus 1,700, D-backs plus 2,200, and the Rockies plus 30,000 to win the division. Jeez, man. Oh, my God. The Dodgers, it's like the rich getting richer, basically. They already had Gonsolin, didn't they? But they re-signed him. Kopech in their bullpen. I forget where he even was before, but their big addition was Tucker, who was on the Cubs, I believe. So that's the one thing everybody was talking about. That's a big add for them, so their lineup gets even stronger. And they really didn't lose much of any. They lost Conforto to the Cubs. Not a huge loss there, to be honest. They got Edwin Diaz, which probably is going to help their bullpen there. I mean, their weakness is still their bullpen, though. They re-signed Kike Hernandez, man. Come back to the best name ever, by the way, Kike. Don't mispronounce it. His name is really Enrique, but yeah. Bring him back to the Red Sox, baby. Bring back Kike. But, the Dodgers they're going to be as good as last year, but that doesn't mean they're going to win the whole thing again. They have the best odds to do it, and I don't see them losing this division, but we'll see. The bullpen is still a concern with the Dodgers, man. They didn't really do that much to improve it. With one big add in the bullpen, that's probably not enough. So we'll see what they wind up being able to do there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. There's no way I would lay that. Mookie Betts, yeah, the Red Sox need him back too. He's so many former Red Sox on the Dodgers, including him. Red Sox should not have gotten rid of him, man. But, I do like the Red Sox young core that they have now. All right, the second best odds to win this division is the Padres again. We already know they lost... Well, actually, I'm going to talk about their losses in a minute. Wow. Wait a minute. Yeah. Well, so Padres, they re-signed Nestor Cortez. I don't really know why. There was a reason why the Yankees got rid of him. But at least, I guess, it's a more pitcher-friendly park for him in San Diego. But he didn't look that good when he pitched for them last year, so I don't know about that. They got Jose Iglesias. I think that was a re-sign as well, right? Former Red Sox player, by the way. Infielder there. They re-signed Michael King, who is a former Yankee. He pitched fairly well last year. He's a hard thrower. He's good. They signed Sung Moon Song, whoever the hell that dude. Again, I don't know who these guys are, these Asian players. If they're new to the major leagues, I have no idea. And if they are, you have no idea how good they're going to be. Sun Moon Song, is that how you pronounce his name? I don't know. Sun and the Moon. They got Andujar. They re-signed Hart. I don't know, man. Yeah, they picked up Castellanos in the outfield. I guess that's somewhat interesting. Herman Marquez, who was starting pitcher, I believe, on the Astros, I want to say. Is that right? So they got that guy. Was he the Pine Tar guy? The guy who got suspended for Pine? I don't remember. Dude, I forget who's who at this point, man. I don't remember if that's him or not, so I don't want to make any false accusals here. Griffin Canning, yeah, great. And Walker Buehler, those guys are not going to be doing a whole lot, but we'll see. And, of course, as I mentioned, they lost Dylan Cease. So, he was he didn't pitch well last year, but, he was still one of their better starting pitchers. So they lost him. They lost Arias to the Giants, one of their infielders there. And they lost O'Hearn to the Pirates, as I mentioned, so I don't know. I don't know what to think about these Padres changes. I think even though I said some negative things about Cease, I just don't see him pitching well outside of San Diego, but I still think that's actually a loss for the Padres still, though. So I don't know. Oh, yeah. George Costanza. I'll just start working for John Henry. I was like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, like George starts working for Steinbrenner. Yeah, the Korean names. I'm usually good. I have the autism. I'm usually good at keeping track of who's who, but not here. Then we got the Giants at plus 1,700. I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Giants. Let me see. Where are we at here? Giants, they added Bader from the Phillies. That's an interesting add, I guess, as an outfielder. Arias, who I just mentioned, from the Padres. They got Molly, who was a decent starter in the Rangers rotation, and he's going to another pitcher-friendly park in the Giants, so maybe a good add there. They added Adrian Hauser, who did actually pitch okay at times last year as a starter as well. I don't hate that ad for them. They lost Verlander, of course, to go retire with the Tigers there. And I have no idea who Tom Murphy even is, catcher they signed as a free agent. The Giants, I think their pitching will be good again, like it was last year. I think I might like them better than the Padres this year. I don't know, man. But the Dodgers are going to win this division. So if you like any of the other teams in the division, you're going to have to like them to get into the playoffs as a wild card, The Diamondbacks, let's see where they're at. I can't even, dude, what? I can't even figure out what? Oh my God. Who do the Diamondbacks add and lose? I don't even remember. Oh, they re-added Merrill Kelly. Let's find him. Hold on. Wait, what just happened? How did I just... You know what? I think I just I don't know what I just did. I don't know. I think I lost... yeah, that was weird. I think I lost the page or something. Merrill Kelly. Oh, they're listed as D-backs. That was very weird. D-bags. All right. D-backs. They got Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals. That's an interesting ad, I guess. Third baseman, decent hitter. They got Merrill Kelly back because I think he used to be on the team. He had a good season with the Rangers last year, but I don't know if that's a good ad necessarily because the Rangers are a good pitching park and the D-backs are not. So he might take a step back. They got Soraka from the Nats, I want to say. Or actually, no, I think he went from the Nats to the Cubs last year. I'm not sure that he's any good, though. As a starting pitcher, sometimes comes out of the bullpen, whatever. Carlos Santana, the guitarist, there you go. Don't know how much he's really even going to play. Subtractions, my guy, Jalen Beeks, but probably not a whole lot here to see. Blaze Alexander, who was a trade from the Red Sox. They're already getting rid of him, I guess. He's actually, I think the Cardinals got him in a trade, and now he's already moved multiple different teams since then. That's kind of insane. So I don't know. He was part of one of the Red Sox trades to get... I think he was part of the Mott's trade, I think, which was stupid. Matz, however you pronounce his name. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of what the Diamondbacks are doing here, to be honest. I liked Kelly last year in that setting, but maybe not so much going back to a hitter-friendly park. Not seeing it with the D-backs. And then the Rockies. I'm not going to be seeing it with the Rockies either. They added Willie Castro, utility player, great. They added Lorenzen from the Royals. They added Quintana from the Brewers. I mean, he did pitch well for the Brewers last year, but, dude, Quintana, what the hell is he going to do pitching in Coors Field? Like, really? You're going to bring Lorenzen from a really good pitching stadium in Kauffman Field, the Royals, to Coors Field? Yeah, good luck with that. Quintana, the Brewers have kind of a hitter-friendly park, I think. Going to the Rockies Stadium, it shouldn't be good. I don't think it's going to be good. And they got Sugano, who was, I believe last year was his first season in the majors, a Japanese pitcher. He was on the Orioles last year, and he was good at the start of the year, not so good at the end of the year. What's he going to do in Coors Field, man? Probably not much. And they got, Pearson Oil. How the Southerners say oil. We struck some oil here. Pearson Oil from the Twins. Don't know how good he's going to do either. He looks like he's probably going to be in the bullpen. They got Jake McCarthy, outfielder from the D-backs. Don't even really know who he is. They lost Arcia, shortstop to the Twins. Farmer, infielder to the Braves. Those are a couple of their better players, I think. Oh, that's right. Herman Marquez. I was wrong. That's right. I forgot. He was one of their starting pitchers. He's going to the Padres. Dude, he must be celebrating. He gets to go from the worst pitching park in baseball to the best, basically. Going from Coors Field to Petco or whatever. That is such... Dude, yeah, he's definitely got to be celebrating there. Who the hell was I thinking of? Who's the guy in the Astros then who was the Pine Tar guy? Herman, I think is his last name. Something Herman, yeah, whatever. That was my confusion there. But yeah, the Rockies are still gonna suck. I mean, no, that was the Japanese player who cried was Sasaki on the Dodgers. He seems pretty soft. Sugano was definitely not. Sugano's like in his 30s. Like, he pitched for a long time in the Japanese leagues. Like, he's not really that phased by being in the majors, you know what I mean? Sasaki is like a 21-year-old or 22-year-old. It was definitely him. Because his first appearance was really, really rough with the Dodgers in one of those opening day games. I think it was actually in Korea or something, or where he pitched. Although he's Japanese, though. But yeah, I think it might have been one of those like opening days in Korea last year or whatever. I think opening day on Wednesday, by the way, is not going to be in a foreign country. I think it's actually in San Francisco. Yankees at San Francisco, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, yeah, that's about it, man, for what these teams did for their acquisitions. Looking at the NL odds to win it, the Dodgers are plus 120, so they're actually not a favorite to win the NL. Mets plus 700, Phillies plus 800, Cubs plus 900, Braves plus 900. I would not touch the Braves. Padres plus 1,600, Brewers plus 1,600. And then we have a drop-off to the Reds plus 2,800, Giants plus 3,000, Pirates plus 3. Come on. Pirates plus 3,000. Really? Yeah, I would not do that. I will tell you that. I mean, if it's not going to be the Dodgers, honestly, I could see it being the Mets. I could see it being the Cubs. Other than that, I don't really see it for any of these other teams, to be honest. I mean, Phillies, I guess, maybe. But I don't know. I'm just not totally sold on the Phillies pitching. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on it, man. And then, as far as, I wonder can we get, team to make the playoffs? Let me see. These are just exact World Series matchups here. Some guys like to play those, Dodgers over Yankees is the best odds, and then Yankees over Dodgers second best odds. Isn't that just great? You can play some of these teams over their season win totals here. The Dodgers season win total is 102.5. I would probably not play that over, to be honest. I mean, the Dodgers, they had the season wrapped up last year and they just packed it in. Like, you know what I mean? If the Dodgers have the division wrapped up, they might just pack it in. Let me see. And then specials. Let me see. I wanted to see like certain team to make the playoffs, but I guess they don't have it here. Yeah, as far as odds to make the playoffs, I wonder if we can find that. Let me see. Playoffs. What? Let me see here. Looks like old FD seems like they have it. Yeah, odds to make the playoffs. Let me move it over to the other browser window here. There it is for you. The Dodgers are minus 8,000 to make the playoffs. The Mets are minus 300. Mariners minus 280. Yankees minus 280. Phillies minus 225. Cubs minus 215. Red Sox minus 172. A lot of teams are favored to make. Dude, again, it's because the books have to charge you a premium. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously all these teams can't make the playoffs. It's only going to be, what is it? It's only like 6 per league, right, to make the playoffs. It's the 3 division winners and 3 wild cards now, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for teams, I don't really see too many, teams that are value plays to make the playoffs. Tigers at minus 148 seems really cheap, actually. Although, really, but still, I would just probably play them to win the division at plus 100. You get better odds than them to win the division. As far as making the playoffs here for some of these other teams, the Rangers kind of interest me at plus 118. That seems like an all right price there. Maybe even the Royals, the Zach's Royals at plus 118 to sneak in there. Houston, at minus 1. I don't know. Houston at minus 112. I don't know. I don't know about that one. But, Houston, again, is one of those teams that there might be a little bit of value here because they're like a team that's always good, but they were not good last year. You know what I mean? I wouldn't really do anything with the Brewers because I think they were a bit too good last year. So I think they're going to take a step back. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what I do with the NFL season win totals, where you want to take a team that overperformed last year and kind of fade them, or find a team that underperformed last year and jump on them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to really predict like who's going to make the playoffs, who's actually going to win the divisions. I don't know. If we look real quick here, I still think the Yankees probably win the AL East. I think wild cards, I would say probably 2 wild cards come out of this division, to be honest. I would say Red Sox, maybe Toronto gets in again. I think Detroit wins the Central, and then I don't know if anybody actually even makes it out of the Central, man. My guess is going to be then us, as far as the AL West, I guess I would still go with Seattle winning it. But I'm looking at FanDuel right now, by the way, so that's why the odds are different than what DraftKings had. And then I'd say Houston gets the last wild card would be my guess, but I know that's very uninteresting and very similar to what happened last year, but a couple of teams different in there. Or at least one, I think, just the Astros instead of Cleveland. As far as the NL, I think the Mets do win their division. Phillies probably do make the playoffs as well. NL Central, I would say probably the Cubs. Like I said, I'm not too high on any of the other teams in that division, to be honest. Dodgers win the NL West. As far as teams making the playoffs, yeah, I think Mets, Phillies both make the playoffs. Cubs, I don't know. I'm just not that high on the Brewers, man. Dodgers obviously make it too. I could see going out on a limb here with the NL and seeing some crazy shit happen here. Maybe I'd say Giants make the playoffs, and I don't know. I'm not high on the Braves really at all. Maybe the Brewers still get in. Maybe the Reds. I would not want to go with the Pirates. I don't know. Those are just kind of my loose predictions there. That's going to do it, man. No. Who the fuck is Trammell? No. Alan Trammell, Bubba Trammell, those guys are not playing anymore. No, it was Franklin Herman, I want to say was his name. It was obviously the reason I confused it was because it's Herman. It was Herman Marquez was the guy who I thought it was. He was the Rockies guy. The Pine Tar Astros guy is something Herman. I think Franklin Herman, something like that. But Cleveland beat. Who cares? It's spring training. I don't put any weight into anything that happens in spring training whatsoever. The games don't matter at all. Yes. Do not build any parlays. I do not recommend parlays. I don't really do the futures here either, though. But those are my thoughts on the baseball season. We'll see what actually happens. That's going to do it. Learn to Toad on Twitter. You know all the things. Learn to Toad on Instagram. Like, subscribe to the channel here. Boost this thing up. Get the notifications for when I go live, which will be tomorrow morning, of course, with the morning show as usual. Don't even know what we have for games tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of NHL tomorrow. I think there's a little bit of NIT action, and then there's some NBA probably. But tomorrow, the majority of it is hockey because it's a Tuesday. Then what else? What else do I have to promote here? This show's on audio as well, Spotify, Apple. You can check it out, all the audio. I started pushing it to more audio platforms, actually, so you can check it out at every place there. That, it's monetized, so it helps me out. Give me the reviews over there, too. Then we got Covered in Uke. I'm trying to drop my prices a little bit on the Patreon, patreon.com/LearnToToad. I got to add more Patreon content or something that I don't know. I apologize. I'm not getting to the requests, that frequently, but, I don't know. I feel like I got a lot on my plate here, even though I'm not actually working a serious, real job right now, but, it's turning into just betting being the thing, so I don't know. And then, fuck, my fucking camera. And then what else is there to promote here? Covered in Uke, of course, I kind of alluded to it. My Uke channel, you can check that out. Losercast tomorrow night. Correct. Yeah, that's going to do it. I know who my loser is going to be for tomorrow, and hopefully nobody picks this person, but that's going to do it. So, yeah. We'll be back in the morning with what will be a majority hockey show. That's going to do it. Peace.